Good morning, beautiful soul. So, if you are on the replay, you might be hanging out with me a little extra long because I logged in 8 minutes early today to see if I could uh, get ahead of any technical challenges that Facebook might be offering during a Facebook Live today. So, I'm also going to sneeze. Excuse me. Pardon me. So while we're waiting, I just invite you to take a few full, intentional, deep breaths in, really connect with yourself. And while we're waiting, go beyond connecting with yourself and right away start to breathe into your heart chakra. All right, I see one viewer. I'm just talking to the people coming on the replay, alerting them that I um, logged in 8 minutes early. So if you could put a comment in, whoever the one viewer is, that would be helpful to me to let me know immediately if the comments are going to be working or not. I'm going to say hi in the comments, see what I get back. Oh, okay, I see me today, so that's a good sign. And as you're hanging out with me, if as you've logged in, I'm just encouraging everybody to put their focus on their heart chakra and actually begin to connect even deeper with the higher frequency version of yourself. So we'll all do that together. Those watching the replay and the one viewer who's here with me, go ahead and just spend a few extra moments connecting to your higher self. See what that feels like for you. And if you did put a comment in, I'm not seeing it. So if you have my phone number, I'm going to ask you to send me a text, my one viewer who's here early with me. Let's see if that comes through. And if it doesn't, that's okay. When somebody else logs in, I'll check in with them. Because so far, your comment hasn't come through if you've made one. Is that you, my one viewer? Did you comment and it's not showing up? All right, welcome. I see a second viewer. And my first viewer is texting me, telling me that they did make a comment in the comment section. This week, my comments are showing up to me, but yours are not. So I'm happy to know that this early, I logged on 8 minutes early to see if I could get ahead of it today, and I didn't. So I've just been encouraging the people on the replay who now have 8 minutes to wait with me, just to begin to breathe into their heart chakra, really feel that upgraded command center and that unconditional love, and see if you can just spend a few minutes while we're waiting for everybody connecting with the presentation in this very moment of the frequency of your higher self. What does that feel like for you when you pause just to connect with it? We're going to hang out there while I let a few more people join us, and I don't keep talking for those that are on the replay. Okay, I see a few more of you logging in. Thank you. I have discovered that I'm not able to see your comments this morning, but that's okay. Make them anyway. Do your 2-word check-in with yourself. Pop them in the comments, and then just begin to breathe full and slow and deep into your heart chakra, and spend a couple minutes seeing if you can connect with the presentation of the frequency of your higher self in your body today. What does that feel like? Who are you becoming? What's the difference when you were in soul mode versus human mode, or even wounded third dimensional persona mode? There's a difference, and you can learn to discern it and feel it and live in it. We've got one more minute to hang tight together. Okay, well, something's changing on I'm not seeing your comments, but at least the comment tally is now starting to work. So I see how many viewers I have, and I see how many comments I have. So that's helpful. Okay, it's 7 o'clock straight up. I'm going to stop paying attention to the comments, and I'm going to jump right in. So thank you for being here. It's definitely apparent to me last month and this month that not sending out the text messages, which I have to do individually this year, is affecting who shows up and who doesn't, and that's totally okay. People are very welcome to just simply watch on the replay. That's part of the offer, and that's the only way some people can do it. But for those of you that are here, I really appreciate it, because when we put together this virtual circle, it's your energy I am feeling, and it's you who activate the flavor. You that are here in person activate the flavor of the message, and then it expands from there into those that are watching on the replay. So I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to talk a little bit fast today because there's several things I want to share with you. But the first thing is, the elders, in preparation for today's message, the elders want me to pause. They want me to encourage you to pause and ask yourself this question right now. Or let me rephrase that. They want us to pause, and with acknowledgement and gratitude to the divine process unfolding as evidence in us, and gratitude from our lower self to our higher self for the evidence of what I'm going to ask you right now. So think back to 2020, when we were all put into shelter-in experience from the collective COVID experience that was designed as a collective experience for all humans on the planet to share an emotional experience that was affecting our ability to raise our frequency. We had no idea, but we went through fear, anger, confusion, trust, clarity, and inspired action all together. It read out very, very differently in all of our personal experiences, and it changed your life forever. One of the things that's changed is your willingness to make changes in your life. So what they're asking me to ask you is, what has changed in your life since 2020? What has changed? A lot of things have changed in your physical life. Many of you have moved. Many of you have ended relationships. Many of you have started new relationships. Many of you have terminated employment. Many of you have started your own business. Many of you took a sabbatical, and you're laying low to really find out who you are as a result of the dramatic impact that fear, anger, confusion, trust, clarity, and inspired action was activating in your upgraded command center. Now, what have you noticed? This is the second question they're asking me to ask you. What have you noticed since January 1 of this year. We're 5 weeks in. 5 weeks in. They're asking me to ask you, what are you noticing that's happening on the inside of you? What do you notice? And they're telling me in this moment to ask you to acknowledge what was the first thing that showed up in your mind. And as you allowed that thought to come into your mind, what did you feel? Whatever that thought was, there was an emotional charge. There was an emotional experience along with the thought. Thoughts are electric, generating emotions that are magnetic. Thoughts generate emotions that activate our continuous electromagnetic field. It is the dictator of the bandwidth of your transmitting human walking radio tower. So what was that first thought and what was the first emotional charge when your inner guidance through my guides, because that's all it is, my guides taking a external position to mirror yours, when your inner guidance said, what's changed for you since January 1, what was the first thing that came? Doesn't matter what it was. Now they're specifically saying, what has changed that you can acknowledge where you have maybe softened your attachment to fear and you are noticing an openness? And they're saying you may be noticing that openness as a very subtle shift in your willingness to be a little bit more vulnerable. Where have you put yourself out there a little bit more to be seen, to be connected, to be offering input in maybe a way that you don't normally allow yourself to connect? This is important right now. They are saying that it's important for you to pause in the remainder of this parade of planets that will stay in alignment through this Thursday, like these planets all orchestrating themselves into one straight line with the sun and planet Earth to become a telescope laser beam. So the intelligence of Source can pass through each one, land on Earth to activate your dormant DNA, which is the non-physical circuitry of your soul, allowing the human experience to transform as an entire species. We're not making this shit up, and it is the most dramatic and impactful evolution of the species of humans on planet Earth ever since the moment of creation. That's massive. But it is not the evolution of our physical bodies to adapt to the evolution of the physical plane that we've lived in. A lot of people confuse third dimension with physical reality. Fifth dimension functions in physical reality. Third dimension functions in physical reality. Physical reality evolves, and so does consciousness. What did the elders tell us at the beginning of 2023 when they speak about consciousness? The evolution of consciousness and the act of ascension, the turning of the radio dial, is what is the key component to the evolutionary process of non-physical intelligence of the one source being capable of, at such a high frequency, infiltrating these physical bodies in a way that we can live in these physical bodies with an evolved level of awareness of what? Our self as source. How that will change all of humanity as humans continue to live in physical reality on planet Earth, we do not know with our wounded third dimensional persona minds. But everything in your upgraded heart chakra holds that knowing. And everything in your upgraded heart chakra holds the intelligence to send the impulses into your conscious mind for the version of you that's living the physical reality that you are experiencing today. And that's only going to continue to increase. So they're saying, what have you noticed in the last month, and particularly in this last week, where you're softening and you're opening? They want you to pay attention, and they want you to give yourself acknowledgement and express gratitude to this divine plan that you're being turned on to. Most of you, when you first started hearing all of this, it's like, what the fuck? But something in our hearts go, I don't understand this, but something in me says there's something here for me. This feels right. I don't understand because it's so contrary, but you keep sticking around. That's your evolutionary process. It's so important right now, beautiful soul, because remember I said at the beginning of the year, what I'm going to do on Magical Mondays is take the message from that with the main themes, and I'm going to flesh them out every week. Magical Monday by Magical Monday. Remember, I encouraged you, print out the message at the first of the month and read it every day. It's transmitting something to you that will shift your experience in physical form beyond what your brain is comprehending from the simple words you're reading. Remember that? Hope you printed it out January and February. So today, there are 3 paragraphs I plucked, and here what I'm doing now is, rather than me giving my interpretation, I'm going right to them and saying, tell me what you mean by this. Tell me what you mean by this. So I'm going to tell you what I picked, and then I'm going to tell you what they said. And remember, I'm transmitting way more than the words that your ears are hearing and your mind thinks it's understanding right now. Even if you think you don't understand right now, it's supporting your evolutionary consciousness, your transformation, and thoughts are going to come from your upgraded heart chakra long after we hang up this call, and clarity is going to come today and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday until we do it again. All you got to do is keep your Indiana Jones hat on and pay attention and acknowledge with gratitude the subtle shifts that are happening, because the subtle shifts are going to start to get not so subtle. And they're going to start to come faster and faster. Here's the first thing I asked. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there is a page, a paragraph, 4 paragraphs in, so there's a lot of meat before this. Throughout the ages, certain fractions have thrived on ignorance and fear among the masses, on perpetrating, closely guarding their secrets to benefit from an uninformed humanity. That's you and me, unconscious, unactivated. However, the light now shining upon Earth in the planetary parade is dismantling these hidden dominions right now, right now. The revelations blossoming, remember this is the year of revelations? There's revelations blossoming, getting ready to come, boom, into the collective awareness through all kinds of means. The revelations blossoming forth are paving the way for a new level of freedom and self-empowerment. My question to them, throughout the ages, certain fraction. Who are these fractions? Who are these fractions? What do you got for Magical Monday? What do you got for this 15-minute period? And it's already 7:12. Here's what they said. These are the 3 they want us to pay attention to right now. I'm sure there's more. These seem obvious, but because they're bringing them forward today, pay attention to what unfolds on the world stage. Governmental structures, of course. Various governing bodies throughout history have manipulated information to maintain control over the populace, instilling fear and compliance to protect their power. We know that. This is telling us today, pay attention to all the movements in the government without attaching to anything you think you're seeing. Okay? Let go even more. They're telling us the number one, it's going to be the governments that you're going to start to see the biggest shift. Your normal reaction looking out is going to be fear. They're saying pay attention to what's shifting in your lack of fear. That's what today's Magical Monday is about. Pay attention to what unfolds and how you continue to expand past your attachment to fear. That's what this is about. Second, religious institutions. Some organizations have used spiritual teachings or doctrines to sow division, creating hierarchies that separate the faithful from the concept of a universal connection to the divine. Again, that's not rocket science. Pay attention. We're going to see movement in religious institutions bringing their impact to keep you in fear. Not even if you're not in a religious institution now, watch. That's why they're bringing this forward today. Something's going to show up in February. Pay attention. Third one, corporate entities. Again, no rocket science here, but our perception of what we're seeing outside of ourselves and our beliefs about what we've seen and our judgments about how we've been experiencing these three categories is shifting this week in the planetary parade. That's why they're bringing these forward. These are not the only ones, but they're the three primary ones moving on the chessboard right now. Companies and corporations driven by profit often perpetrate consumerism and dependency, prioritizing financial gain over the well-being of individuals and the planet, which further influences societal beliefs and behaviors. This is about your attachment to beliefs. The shifts of corporations is going to wake you up around your beliefs. Remember, we've been talking about letting go of long-held limiting beliefs, and we think we know what that means. What you think that means is about to get a whole new expansion. Just pay attention in the month of February. It's 7:15. I'm going to, there's three more, but I'm only going to do one. And that is, the other question I asked them was, give me some evidence of mastery. I'm not going to do that one today. I'm going to do the third paragraph I read is, in the weeks and months ahead, in the weeks and months ahead, this came out on February 1st, on Saturday, in the weeks and months ahead, pay attention. Notice how the pieces of the divine plan start to come together more clearly. Trust that the ascended masters, archangels, and cosmic guardians are orchestrating these revelations for the highest good. Release any pressure to force events or outcomes. Your power as co-creator lies in maintaining your alignment with the source of all love. I said, my question was, how are we going to recognize? They're saying in the weeks and months ahead, notice. What are we going to notice? That's what I ask them. Notice what? How will we know what you're talking about there? I want to know what you mean. And they said, in the weeks and months ahead, you'll notice signs suggesting that the divine plan is aligning more clearly. That intelligence is going to come from your heart into your mind in a way that makes sense to you based on what we're seeing. It's going to be different than you've been perceiving. Maybe subtle, maybe extreme. Keep your Indiana Jones hat on. Here's 3 examples of what to look for, because that's what I asked them. Give me 3 examples. They said synchronicities and signs. You may begin to notice more frequent personal synchronicities where events align perfectly with your thoughts, desires, or needs. Pay attention to that. This could be in the form of unexpected opportunities or interactions that reinforce your path forward. Second thing, shifts in collective awareness. As more individuals awaken to these higher truths, you will witness shifts in societal conversations and movements, people uniting around common goals focused on love, healing, and unity, which are indicative of a larger divine plan. We're already seeing that. We see humanity always rally around each other, but this is different. In the fires, all the videos you saw of people coming together and supporting each other, their experience and in that love exchange is different than we've ever had before. Don't be fooled. It's different. Everybody feels life is not the same, and every action we take of love, compassion, and unification is part of the divine plan. Pay attention. One more. Ready? increased resilience and compassion. Pay attention to this in you. You'll notice there may be a growing sense of resilience among yourself, among communities, and where individuals support one another in navigating challenges. This newfound compassion, even amidst adversity, highlights the unfolding of the collective awakening. That's the one I want you to pay attention to right now. There has been a shift in this last week of a resilience. It's easy to miss, but I bet if you pause long enough, you can point to an experience where you felt stronger in a situation when your mind had been ruminating over things that were causing you fear. And then all of a sudden there was this resilience and strength, and you offered yourself in support or in words or in action for yourself in a way. It could be subtle, but in a way that was contrary to how you'd been feeling just a week ago. I know that's true for me. I've been feeling incredibly grateful, but no excitement about my move. And all of a sudden, in the last 2 days, something is shifting in me. I'm not super excited I got to move, but I'm not, something shifted. That's all I can say. I can't put my finger on it, but I can feel it. And it's not excitement just about my move. It's excitement about my alignment and my fortified beingness from this higher perspective. And I'm just 10 steps ahead of you. That's making a way within myself, this expansion. There's an expansion happening in all of us for deeper understanding of what we're really witnessing and getting that from the higher perspective and having it embodied in a way that we've yet been able to align with. Not because we haven't intended to or done everything in our power to keep being in that openness. It's because the bandwidth got bigger. You got deeper and wider as a walking transmitter since the planetary parade was activated about 8 or 9 days ago. And there was a buildup of that starting in January 1. So today, beautiful soul, here's what I want to leave you with. Keep your Indiana Jones hat on and pay attention to how triggered you get into feeling anything like fear and go, wait a minute, there's a bigger plan here. I can let go of my instant attachment to fear and say, what else is there? And why can I do that? Because I've been told, and my intelligence is resonating that this is truth. Fear is not my enemy. It's my teacher calling me into the unknown. There is no deeper unknown that humanity has ever gone than into the ascension. There is no deeper unknown than you've ever experienced in your entire life than what we are going through now. Is regardless if we're aware or we want it or not, the divine source creator keeps turning the dial on itself, raising the frequency on itself to transform our human experience, because our consciousness is coming online in a way that's completely different than the way we've all been imprinted to believe what being human on planet Earth is about. We don't know what that means, but we were told back by the Masters of Light in 2017, hey, just giving you a heads up now, as the frequencies get higher, you're going to be required and need to let go of what you think it means to be a human on the planet Earth. And you've heard me say, I didn't know what the hell that meant then, but I'm like, okay, show me what you'll show me, because I don't know what you mean. And every day since then, I've been like, okay, show me what you show me, because I don't know what you mean. Even as early as January 1 of this year, okay, show me what you show me, because I don't know what you mean. But the more I keep saying that, the more these subtle energies open in me deeper and wider, and I start to get a sense that I will know what this means. And that's happening in you too. Feel that. Doesn't matter what the wounded mind says, your heart intelligence, your eternal accumulated wisdom is driving this boat for you, not your wounded third dimensional persona mind. There's this conflict still going on. That's why we got to stay in this intelligence and trust what's coming from here, not here, because all this knows is past and all the past knows is fear. All the future knows from here is the fear is not our enemy. It's our teacher calling us into the unknown where we're going to grow deeper and wider in our knowledge and personal experience in physical form as a human, what it means, what true possibility of being a human means according to the divine plan that's unfolding right now. That's where I'm going to leave you. Take a big breath in before we hang up. Focus on your heart chakra on demand. Instantly imagine that emerald green ball of light rotating like a disco ball in a dance club. Feel it opening and feel that beam of green light shooting out from your chest cavity into your auric field, creating a bubble of light around you, guiding and cocooning and protecting and elevating and supporting the physical life your soul is having. Stay in soul mode, even though the physical mode keeps wanting to default to fear mode. Stay in soul mode. I love you. Bye for now.